And she was singing, "Try me, dear teacher, try me." You know I can't sing, y'all. Try me. And I just wonder, had you been tried lately?
Girl! So I have Danielle on today because we have some great conversations. Just kind of like when I'm upset or when I see stuff that's just not right. And when I say it's nothing like having a friend that can keep it 100 with you. That's HUNNIT, 100 with you. And so much, I think, growth is birthed out of those conversations. So I want to bring that to you. I think everybody should have a girlfriend like this, somebody you can talk to on that level. And I have a lot of friends like that where it's just real. Like, this is how I feel, and we don't necessarily have to agree on everything, but it's something about hearing someone else's perspective that helps you grow. And so we are bringing that to you. So I don't know if this is going to be a new segment, but I really want to have some of these conversations. So to start this segment off, is we're going to do like a little game where I say something and Danielle has to say the first thing that comes to her mind. No hesitation. Y'all remember that game? Hands up to 95. I say like no hesitation. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Bearded men.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, girl. Something about a brother with a beard.
Ain't it?
That beard ministry just
Coconut oil.
lined up just right. Beards are out here saving brothers' lives.
No Shave November. Shout out to you.
Talking about the beards, listen. No Shave November is out here blessing our lives.
I gotta bring it back to my mind.
And I think that y'all just need to keep this no shave thing going. It doesn't just have to be for the month of November. Feel free to keep it going. We appreciate you.
No shave December. No shave February.
No shave March.
April.
May.
June.
July.
August.
September.
Is that a note? Is that somebody? Is that a note? Is that a 313? So I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
So being single and being tried. When I say this, for the most part, I think people are well intentioned. I think. But they do say things that come from, I believe, a place of arrogance or ignorance. Flip flop. I don't know, arrogance
Both.
or ignorance, because arrogance is when you is when you think you know everything, or when you've been so far removed from being single.
Oh, yeah.
And you really don't understand what it's like to be single, to be, 30-something in 2017 or 20-something in 2017, in the culture that's saturated with sex, with men, with all these different things. And understand, like, we have like, I'm celibate. And so that's a part of the struggle. That's a part of it too. But when things are said, like, why you still single? It's almost like you want to look at somebody like, did you really ask me that question? Like, if I knew why I was still single, do you think I'd still be single? Also, as though singledom or singleness is almost like a curse or like a disease, or like I'm not content. Like, I think you can be content and still want to be with someone. And I think that just isn't true. And some offenses, I'll call them offenses, that I heard have been, unfortunately, across the pulpit.
Man, I mean, it's hard for a single woman in the church. I mean, it has just been my experience that there is always an abundance of information and advice and recommendation and teaching and schooling directed towards single women, as if your main goal and objective in life is to be married, and it's always corrective towards women, and telling you how to check these boxes and dot this I. Women, you need to do this, and this to get and keep them in. But then the information, you know, some of it is said in a way that's so offensive and that minimizes who you are as a person.
Like, for example, like if you tell me that, in a sense, in so many words, without saying it, but all you need is a man that, you know, can take care of you. A man that, you know, aligns with your faith, or a man for the Christian church, a man that's saved, and you'll be fine, or whatever. And that is offensive because you're making the assumption that I am passing by, number one, all these men, and that they're readily available. Two, I think it's also offensive when you think of the sovereignty of God, that I can literally do something to manifest.
I can manufacture a relationship.
Yeah. And then three, that's all it takes, is that he has to be saved and have a good job. If that couldn't be further from the truth.
Further from the truth. But you know, I think the ignorance comes in. Oftentimes, many of them have come from these places where they made these choices to be in these relationships, and what's hilarious about that is more than half of the folks they married are miserable. And then you giving advice from a place that you've really never been in. You know, you weren't single for this extended period of time, most of these people that are giving advice, and you didn't go about dating the way that most of the time they didn't go about dating the way that they're suggesting we go about dating. And I hate that, oh, you too pretty to be single. Why you still single? As if my looks are you know, are what's supposed to get and keep it. No.
Listen.
Like, you minimize, people. I hate people often minimize the substance of who you are and how a relationship is supposed to come together. And it's just like, sweetheart, okay, I'm glad that you got that. If it were about looks, listen, people come up to me every day. Okay. Your attraction to me does not equate to viability. Let me explain. Just because you are attracted to someone and they are attracted to you does not mean that they are a viable candidate to be in a relationship with. If there is not compatibility, lifestyle congruence, and a positive synergy toward your interests and your desired outcomes,
they don't align with your purpose,
it ain't gonna work. And oftentimes you can't even get to the place where that compatibility is disrupted when one or both parties don't know who they are and are having an identity crisis, and you can't really have genuine connection with someone who is still searching for who they are.
You cannot.
And so we live in a current culture where we idolize celebrities, we idolize, you know, this lifestyle that we see in mass media and popular culture. We're inundated with this hypersexual culture that sends all of these mixed messages about images and what you're supposed to look like and what a relationship is supposed to look like. And, you know, people are looking to post, you know, the next fairy tale story on their social media account, all while, you know, all hell is breaking loose in their home. The older you get, the more selective you are about who you bring into your space, especially when you come into who you are. You understand that you can't just allow anybody to handle you, especially if you want to go to the church, especially when you're called to a specific person. It's a specific purpose. Mm-hmm. Marrying the wrong person or being in relationship with the wrong person, romantically or non-romantic relationship, could literally be the death of you.
And that's why I don't understand why, because I've heard that message and I get it and it makes sense, but that's why I don't understand why the questions come about why are you still single, or how come, you know, you and him didn't work out, or the qualifications of, again, does he love the Lord? Like, these are literally questions I get. He's attractive, he's tall, you know, he got something going on for himself, but it's never, to me, the larger picture. And it seems like the people that are closer to me, though, I feel like they take those things in consideration consideration, or they may say, oh, why don't you try him? Have you looked at him? So that's a different conversation. But when you just make the assumption that I just dismissed him, and you have no idea who I am or what my destiny is or where I'm trying to go, because some people around me will say, no, I think he may be a good look for you because of X, Y, and Z, or I know this about you and I know this about him, and so that's why I think you two may be a good couple, or that's why I think that you should give him a second look, or whatever it may be. But even not in that piece, but when you may tell someone else, no, I'm good, to me it's discounting my discernment. It's discounting that I may have saw some things that were red flags. And that I am solely dependent really on the words that come out of your mouth, not my relationship with God, not, you know, my experience in the past, not knowing my weaknesses, my strengths, what God has told me about what I need. It discounts all of that. And it's not even a plea, but it's just like, in so many words, humble yourself before you give, you know, advice. And I'm not saying that disrespectfully, like humble yourself, but taking in consideration that you may not necessarily know what's best for me, or even not that, but I think there's an assumption that will work for you in the past is gonna work for me now. And
well, you don't look like you need a man.
What? It's like you just
so do I not take care of myself? Like, what are you expecting for me to do? What are your
what's the converse of that? So how do I function, and what do I look like when I need a man? What does that look like?
And